All right, welcome to MAC play, especially at the top. Bowling Green's really good. I think we're really good. I think both coaches probably expected that kind of a game, back and forth. And, I thought we were good defensively when we needed to be, and that's how we kind of opened up the game. And then they got back into it when we fouled at the end and, turned the ball over. And I stuck with the press break a little bit too long. That's on me. But our kids were tough, resilient, and made some big time plays. And, they were going to press us and not let us call stuff. So we had to go break down the press and go put it on the rim. And, again, Allie had a big one down the stretch. Anna had a big one down the stretch. And it was everything we thought this game would be. So proud of our kids and their toughness. And that was two good basketball teams on the floor today.
Yeah. You talked a lot about just now about those, I guess the MAC teams really bringing out the best in each other. Bowling Green had only lost one game before that. It was to IU. And then we've talked all off season, last season, about the importance of MAC play. Is this just kind of, I don't want to say par for the course in the MAC, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Am I wrong in that?
No, it's going to be every night. I mean, it's just what our league is. It's got some really good teams in it. I mean, I think, Bowling Green was somewhere in the top, maybe 50, 40-something in the net. Like you said, only one loss. I think we had played a schedule that had us ready for this game. And we're in the top 70 somewhere. I mean, so that's just a really good game. But, okay, how about this? Like, we need our conference to step up. This game should have been on CBS Network. This game should have been on ESPNU or ESPN2. Like, this game should have been out there for everybody to see it with the click of a button. But we'll put a Tuesday night football game on against a 2-16 versus a 3-17. Okay, like we need them to invest in women's basketball, and we've got some great coaches and great players we're playing at a high level on the women's side in this league. We need the conference to step up. This game should have been on, and there's no reason for it. They've got the spots to do it. We've got to make some different choices, and as coaches, we've got to put the feet to the fire. And I just think that those two teams deserve to be on a platform that game was played on.
Yeah. I guess I'll ask the two of you, when you hear your coach talk about the representation of women's basketball like that, and not only women's basketball, but MAC sports in general, things like that, are you guys kind of, you play a game like that, you play real tough the entire time, people are diving all over the place, and that's MAC sports. Do you think that's just emblematic of not only MAC sports, but women's basketball in general? Would you say that?
I mean, absolutely. This is our league. It's games like this every night for this kind of season. And I think that we fought hard to get where we are. And I think that, like you said, we're working our way up to the top, and we do deserve to have some more exposure with the amount of talent that we have in this league and on this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we work so hard. The MAC, it's just, we work very, very hard.
Yeah.
So, it would be really nice to have exposure and get some credit for all the hard work that we put in.
Right. And I guess I'll start with you. Transferring to Ball State, I believe this is your first kind of MAC versus MAC game, and you kind of get your first taste of what MAC sports is all about. Talk to me about like the different atmosphere as opposed to playing Chicago State, and I'm not trying to throw shade on their program or anything, but it is a different atmosphere playing a team like Chicago State or Tarleton State as opposed to Bowling Green or Toledo, what have you.
Yeah, it's tough. The conference is tough. Brady talks about it all the time, about how going out on the floor, it can go either way. Every team in the MAC is tough, and it was really eye-opening, so.
Yeah, and then for you, you played MAC teams a whole lot in your career, and is this just kind of, obviously you have those games at the beginning of the season and they're very important, but as we talked about in the offseason and in the past, this is what you prepare for. Talk to me about the preparation that's gone into MAC play and the importance of MAC play down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, we're back. This is what our team's been working for. This is what I've been working for. Didn't know if I'd ever make it back this point, so it's really, really great to be able to be here. And it's a fight. It's a dog fight every single night we go out during MAC play. And it's up in the air which team is going to win, and it's always fun.
Yeah. And I guess I'll ask this next question kind of from two aspects, whether it be as a player, when you're playing in those gritty games where you're diving all over the place, fans and players are chirping, especially with officiating and things like that. How do you kind of stay focused during games like that and really grind out a win like that?
I would say it comes down to heart. We have really tough practices. We have a really tough non-conference schedule. So, this is what it's all about. We know that we need to stay focused.
I think our team really feeds off of that as well. Some teams kind of shut down when that pressure is put on, but what I've seen from this team, we like that. We enjoy that. It makes us play better.
Yeah. And then, Coach, what's the approach look like? I guess not only versus a MAC team, but also down the stretch, no matter who the opponent is, when you're playing gritty basketball and it's coming down to the wire pretty much every single night.
Well, the good news with our team is I don't think it always has to look the same, because our depth is really good. So, there's going to be nights where we salt it away with some different people. And in a game like that, you get a 10, 11 point lead and okay, let's go grind this out now, and everybody, they're going to define us as, okay, we're up and down, we shoot the threes and we boom, okay, we can grind one out, and we can do what we need to do to get to the end. And, so if you look at, I think a huge stat in tonight's game is our bench production versus theirs, and I think we went plus 20 from our bench. And, but that personifies the depth I'm talking about. And we trust it, so like if we have to salt it away with a different combination in our next game, we're all good. We all practice really hard to be in those moments, and so there's just going to be, based on situations, based on matchups, based on games, there's going to be some different combinations that we have to use. We were in the unfortunate situation where Telma wasn't a full go because the kid slid underneath of her and she twisted her ankle. So, we had to use Marie, in our crasher spot a little bit, and we practice it. It's not something we've done a ton in games. There was a time in that game we went 4 true guards, and we went small, and so we can match up that way. So, that's one of the strengths of our group.
Yeah. Since you mentioned it, and Telma was on, it seemed like she was not on a specific minutes restriction, but like you said, not full go after that. Any kind of word on her status or anything, or just kind of?
No, I mean,
yeah.
She gutted it out and gave us everything she could. Bless her heart, like she wanted to say, "Coach, I can't go," but she didn't, because if she would have said that, clearly I wouldn't have played her.
Right.
And I rely a lot on our trainer in that situation, and she was telling him, "Hey, I can go," but we had to be smart, and there were just some situations where she couldn't come flying off a screen and get a shot off comfortably. There were some situations where she had to make a quick twitch movement and try to block somebody out, and just her heart was there, trust me.
Yeah.
So that's where we had to go with a couple bigs, and we had to do it maybe a little bit differently that way. But the beauty of it is when we have to do that, it's also a really good thing for us offensively, because we can pound it inside with the talent we have between Marie and Annie and this one. I'll use your name, Alex. But that's the thing. Like we can just do it a lot of different ways. And clearly we want Telma healthy. So hopefully you know, she'll spend the night in the training room for the next couple nights and live in an ice tub, and we'll be ready to go for that next one.
Yeah. I guess just lastly, you know, this could be for anyone, but I know it's one game and you guys don't like to dwell on one game, but do you feel like this kind of a win over a team like Bowling Green, it's the first MAC game of the season, you feel like this sets the tone, I guess?
I think it gave us a lot of momentum for the coming games.
Yeah.
On to the next.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's so early.
Right.
I mean, you know, I think more importantly, you got to take care of home court, whether it's Bowling Green or, you know, it was Chicago State or whoever, you know, you got to take care of home court. And that was as important as who it was we were beating. I mean, right now, there's nobody at the top of the standings. There's been no games played. They've had a good year up till now. We've had a good year up till now. They're going to continue to have a good year, and I would guess we are too. But you got to take care of home court, and you know, it was just it was a high level game, and it was fun. And you know, that's I told them at shoot around, like, this game is why they're all here. Like, that's why they wanted to come to Ball State, was to play in this game, in that kind of game that means that much. And it didn't mean anything from the standings, but it meant something because everybody in our league and outside of our league was watching this game. They knew this was the game tonight.
Yep.
And so that's why you wear our jersey, and we're awfully proud of that.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, thanks.